Hey, how's it going? Here's an update. Just finished load number 7. I know I hadn't mentioned 6 yet, but I did load 6 before I went off duty for Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving. Happened a little bit earlier than I wanted, though. It was basically that Saturday. I'm sorry, no. The Sunday before Thanksgiving, I had a short load. I'm sorry, wait a minute. Picked up in Shreveport and took it to Zwolle. I got there early, unloaded, done by maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. Put up my stuff, getting ready to roll. Truck brakes wouldn't release. I'm like, oh crap. Now what? So I got out, checked it out. Brakes weren't releasing, the airbags weren't inflating. I couldn't hear any air leaks. As soon as I released the trailer brakes, my air pressure would drop, but I wasn't able to hear it. Plus, it's hard to hear anything out there with, a couple of other trucks surrounding you with their blowers going, unloading their loads, and everything else going on out there in the well. It's hard to hear, but still, I wasn't able to pinpoint anything. A couple of drivers tried to help me out, no luck. Called a mechanic, or called dispatch. They called the mechanic. Guy showed up, probably around 4:30 in the afternoon. So I was sitting there for already 6.5 hours, or 5.5 hours. Man, finally left the well. Basically, he couldn't find the leak either. He had to disable the brakes on the trailer, and I had to drive to a close truck stop and find a mechanic the following morning. Well, found a mechanic in Bossier, Louisiana, and turns out there was a leak on the trailer itself. Basically, the line was kind of already old and it cracked. So that's where the air leak was, but I wasn't able to hear anything. So they fixed that, and when I finally drove it out of the shop, pulled it up to the front, and was getting ready to go inside to pay for the services, I looked at my brakes and I saw that one had a huge gap, so I had to get that one adjusted. So I asked the guys inside, "Hey, can you adjust the brakes?" Guy goes underneath, he adjusts the brakes. He said, "Hey, by the way, you're leaking hub oil." So, well, I kind of figured that the first time around, that all the hub oil levels were low or dry, and I refilled them, but he said that needed to be replaced, and he says, "You probably need to get this done, this and that done." So, all right, well, give me a quote, and I'll let dispatch know. So dispatch said, "Go ahead, get the quote, let us know, and email it." And to get the parts, the quote on the parts, they had to go to the trailer, Superior Trailer, something like that, and to get quotes on the parts that they get it from is from the actual manufacturer. So they had to get a hold of the actual manufacturer of the trailer to get quotes on the parts. Finally, around 4:30 that afternoon, finally get a quote. I send it to the mechanic over there at our yard, and they said, "No, that is too much. Just go to Kilgore, Texas, and we'll set you up with another trailer while they repair it in the meantime." Well, this is, I believe, Monday. Luckily, Kilgore's about an hour and a half away. Drove there. By the time I got there, it was probably 8 o'clock, something like that, maybe. After I had stopped by to get something to eat. Called the guy who basically runs the shop and has his own trucks. He let me in the gate. He told me, hey, I have some trailers, but I have a newer one because I see the one that you have is really old, and I like this. You seem pretty good guy, so I'm gonna set you up with a better trailer, which is still a company trailer, but he hadn't, I guess, do some things to it, or go over it or something like that. But I told him, well, hey, I'm gonna take this week off anyway. Can I just drop this trailer and then come back the following Monday after Thanksgiving and pick up the new trailer? So yeah, let's do that. So that was it. Had Thanksgiving week off. Loved it. Hadn't had Thanksgiving off in like 5 years. Especially since I had missed the last 2, which were with my newest son. So I got to have Thanksgiving with him finally. Oh man, what else? Yeah, I came back Monday, showed up in Kilgore, picked up a trailer, and then started heading back towards Louisiana, Shreveport area. Well, turns out the well was down. There was only one well. One well was finished, and one well went down. Driver had reached out to me and said, hey, are you back yet? And I was like, yeah, I just happened to just show up now. He had been sitting there already like 25 hours without a load. So I sat there waiting too till that well was up and running. But when it did get up and running, the well was still full of sand when it had, even before it went down. And on top of that, there were still trucks in the staging area waiting to get unloaded too. So it was going to be a while before they needed more loads. So yeah, I sat there a little over 2 days of not doing anything. I figured that last day I'd just go to the gym, and I just went to the gym for 4.5 hours, just killing time there, getting something to eat at Walmart that was behind the Anytime Fitness there in Shreveport area, and tried to get some rest. And yep, I got a call finally around 1:30 in the morning saying, hey, got a load picking up in Garland City, Arkansas, which is about an hour and a half away or more. I was like, all right, I'll take it. And that was going to go to Zwolle, Louisiana, which was about pretty much 3 hours, 3-hour drive, a little over 140 miles from shipper to well. So that load was going to pay a little over $700. So did that, got unloaded probably around 10 o'clock, and let dispatch know. They're asking me where I was going to stage at. I said, well, Nacogdoches, Louisiana was going to be the closest truck stop. And I asked, is that okay, or is there a better, or should I stage somewhere else for the next load? And he said, well, you can either stage close to Campy, Louisiana, which is about 40-50 miles away, or go back to Garland City, Arkansas. So I did the math. I was like, okay, well, if I go to Garland, that's about a 50-mile load from shipper to the well. That's probably going to pay $490, and that's, so let's say, okay, 100 miles to, 100 miles back. It's 50 miles to, 50 miles back. That's 100 miles, and If I drive to Garland, I'll estimate 150 heading up there and then 150 coming back, and that pays a little over 700. I'm like, okay, I'll keep more if I do the longer run, because if I did the shorter run, I'd probably get maybe $400. If I did the longer run, it's like maybe 500, a little over 500. So that's the route I'm taking now, and right now I'm just taking a little break, heat me up something to eat, and then drive another 2 hours back to Garland City, or close to. Texarkana is just west of it, a couple of miles, and they have a Flying J there, so I might fuel up there and just shut it down right there. That way I'm just like maybe 30-40 minutes from the shipper, and that's where we'll go from there. So already 7 loads down. Plan to keep running up until maybe Christmas Eve. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully everything holds up right. Truck's holding pretty good. The new trailer is great. But yeah, this is it. That's all I got for now. I'll keep you posted if anything else new comes up. Alright, later. Also, I forgot to mention, I participated in the turkey trot in Houston. So it was me, my wife, my son. We took a stroller too, and my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and my youngest son-in-law. Brother-in-law. Sorry. Participated in the turkey trot in the gallery area, which was pretty fun. Weather was great. It was probably in the low 50s to start out with, and then it warmed up to right around 70 by the time we finished. But it was good. It was fun. My son wanted to run, so he ran a little bit, and man, he was, by the time we left the parking lot, maybe 5 minutes in, he was out. He was knocked out. He was done. He definitely used up all of his energy there. But it was fun. I'm looking forward to next year's turkey trot as well, and hopefully we'll run a little bit more. All right, that's it for now. Bye.